The very first thing I would ask you to do is please write down the formula you are going to be using. For this one, we have that the volume is the area of the base times the height. So there are some steps that we're going to write out for what we should be doing. These steps will be the same for all of the volume problems that you guys are going to be going through in class today and in your homework assignment due Friday. First question, first step, you have to figure out and ask yourself, what shape is the base? In this problem, that should be a really easy question. So the first thing you have to do is figure out what shape is the base. Go ahead and say out loud, looking at this diagram, what shape is the base? Rectangle. In fact, every single side of this object is a rectangle. So there's no reason to think it's anything else. It is definitely a rectangle for this. Second step, you need to find the area of that shape. So this is where you need to remember all the different area formulas that you were using last week and the Friday before that. So you have to remember that a triangle is half of the base times the height. You have to remember that a rectangle is base times height. You have to remember that a circle is pi r squared. You have to remember all these different things about all these different shapes. For this one, it is a rectangle. So our base for this, we're going to use the rectangle that's on the bottom, which was 3 meters by 9 meters. So our capital B, the area of our base, since a rectangle is base times height, or length times width, we would say 9 times 3 is what? 27. But I want you to also pay attention to what you just multiplied. We didn't just multiply the numbers 3 and 9, they had units on them, meters. Meters times meters makes meters squared. I multiplied 2 of them together. Here comes the third and final step. Now that we've identified what the base is, we found the area of that base, we can now use our formula and multiply that number, the 27 that we just found, by the height. So this is where our formula actually comes together, so I'm going to rewrite it again. We know that capital B is 27 meters squared, because that's what we found in step 2. We know that the height of this entire object, so if you look back at the original drawing, how tall is this? 5 meters. So we put in a 5 meters here. If we multiply those out, 27 times 5 to get 135. But I want you to pay attention to the meters also. Right, we had meters squared here, and then we multiplied by another one, making 3 total pieces being multiplied together to make meters cubed. Volume will always have units cubed, because throughout this process, we ended up multiplying 3 different measurements together. We had 3 times 9, and then we multiplied that by 5. So that was 1, 2, 3 different measurements being multiplied together, meters cubed.